Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. The world is going through a major shift right now, and we've been noticing this in the banking sector in the United States. What will happen next? What is coming down the pipe? The Economic Long Wave here posted this, the changing world order. So BRICS countries now overtake the G7 in share of world GDP. We've got Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The BRICS countries now provide 31.5% of global GDP, with further projected growth, while Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, and the United States provide only 30.7%. So you can see that trend line diverging here. BRICS countries now making up the majority of the GDP. Why I state this, guys, is because a new financial system is in order. And right now, with the banking sector, seemingly collapsing, I mean, it's not really, but, stocks are taking a hit. We are, in fact, witnessing this in real time. Siam Kid here posting this, as mentioned days ago, the SVB failure will have a dramatic spillover effect into stocks and crypto. These U.S. banks halted trading at the open today. So this was posted yesterday, and there was a wild day on the stock market for bank stocks in particular yesterday. Western Alliance Bancorp was down 75%. First Republic Bank down 66%. Customers Bancorp was down 54%. PacWest Bancorp was down 46%. Zions Bancorp down 44%. Bank of Hawaii down 42%. Comerica down 39%. East West Bancorp down 32%. When Biden says the banking system is safe, well, hear it for yourself.
Americans can have confidence that the banking system is safe.
Yeah, okay. Safe for who? I think I have to ask at this point in time. Where have we heard statements like this before? Something went pop. SBF, 3AC, Celsius, and pretty much every other crypto project leader that went pop in 2022. So, the narrative here, guys, banks safe, but again, boy, these guys have teeth. And the reason I say that is because this is another attempt to scare us out of crypto. The FTX thing really was kind of lackluster, I think. I think they thought that we were going to get way more scared than we actually did get. I really do think these guys are underestimating the cryptocurrency industry and how much interest, how much loyalty, and how much we have invested in certain ways. I think they're underestimating that. And the crypto market, as a result, really hasn't fared much damage. We've got XRP still trading at around 37 cents. It hasn't really moved too much, still trading in this sideways channel here. But the rest of the crypto market really has popped. Like Bitcoin, we've got Bitcoin. It's up almost near $25,000 right now, trading at $24,700 per coin. We've got Ethereum up also at about $1,690 per coin. You guys can see over the last couple of days now, we have seen some of the top 10 coins pop. You guys can see that over there on the chart. Let's look at BNB coin real quickly here. BNB coin also moving upwards, trading at $308. Having a bit of a down day today. There was also that issue with BUSD that CZ, Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance, is looking to resolve, looking to find solutions for. Let's take a look at Cardano. Right now, Cardano's up as well, 34.3. So, the market, although we did really hear about the collapse, it really has not coincided with a market downturn, which I think the powers that be are still looking to accomplish. Just a bit of a public service announcement here too from John Deaton. Okay, guys, if you guys are using Uphold, I'm sharing my experience with everyone here in case you encounter the same thing. Either my Wi-Fi at home was hacked or I'm a victim of a SIM swap on my mobile phone. But yesterday he did try to get into his Uphold app on his phone and he could not access it. I grabbed my laptop and tried to log into Uphold from there. When I entered my email and password, the screen said you have been locked out. And then he got a call on his cell phone. Very, very strange. The caller ID only said toll free. A man claimed to be from Uphold Verification and said, "I just sent you an email. Did you get it?" I received an email that looked like this. "Please verify your identity now. Click the link below and ask for a code from an expert." Just downloaded the app and register the device. Also take photo ID and take a matching selfie. It shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes. We're really sorry. But in the meantime, we've had to apply temporary account restrictions, so on and so forth. And then the link here was for unlockaccount.screenconnect.com. Be very, very wary, guys, of this kind of thing. This is next level scamming. It's looking like John Deaton continues by saying, he told me to press the link and that he'd walk me through the process. But even John Deaton did pick up on this. How do I know that you are actually from Uphold? So I'm going to leave the rest of the thread here. John Deaton has actually written quite a lengthy thread on this. Again, be careful, guys, because these scams, they're getting more and more sophisticated. And, in light of a banking collapse, something that is affecting the cryptocurrency sector as a whole, we all have to make sure that we are careful with our cryptocurrency, keep it safe on a cold wallet stored solution. As per Mr. Mann here, another document here, crypto asset custodians are under fire. Be very careful who and where you choose to keep your assets. So guys, I think we're going to see a lot more of this. The smaller banks are under attack. A hardware wallet or cold wallet storage solution may be your best option presently, not your keys, not your crypto. So this is just a document from govinfo.gov here, Security and Exchange Commission, safeguarding advisory client assets over here. And as you guys can see, the Dodd-Frank Act to prescribe investment advisor custody rules. We are redesigning the custody rule as new rule 223-1 under the Advisory Act. The safeguarding rule or the proposed rule, I'm proposing a number of amendments to strengthen its protections. So guys, things are changing. And if you do not have your cryptocurrency in a cold wallet storage solution, I urge you guys, please do find one. I do have an affiliate link if you guys are still looking. I personally like the Ledger Nano. You can use my link if you want. You don't have to use it. But guys, I urge you, please find a crypto solution that is cold storage where you keep your keys, because we just don't know what's going to happen next with, banks, exchanges, whatever. Melissa Tate here on Twitter posting this. All right, Alex Jones has said SVB is the start of the bigger plan. And so this is what I've been saying now for a few days. Not just that, I've been saying this since the beginning of my channel by and large. A great reset is underway, and the powers that be plan to collapse smaller regional banks so they can be absorbed by the top six big banks connected to the Federal Reserve, with an end goal to introduce digital currency, aka CBDCs, as the solution to the crisis they created. This is a common theme for the powers that be, create a problem, then usher in a solution. But a solution that might not be perfect for you, but of course it's going to work for them. So I'm not going to play you guys this clip, but I will link it in the description of the video. Just kind of going over some of what has been going on as of late and some more recent updates. So the thesis goes as such. They want to get the small players out of the game, out of cryptocurrency. This is why, in theory, we've been seeing these smaller banks get hit. We also have big exchanges like Binance wondering what they're going to do in certain cases. This one from Michael Branch here. Binance is to lose its British pound on and off-ramp provider in 9 weeks. Binance has also had problems with its banking partner for United States dollar transfers over the last few months. So, we're even seeing these bigger exchanges, Binance, one of the biggest ones. They're scrambling to find a new service provider to process British pound transfers on its trading platform after its current partner, Skrill Limited, announced it would soon cease providing services to the crypto exchange. Binance explained in a March 13th email, Binantians, that Skrill would stop producing pound deposits and withdrawals via bank transfers with its faster payment service card on May the 22nd. We regret to inform you that our GBP partner, Skrill Limited, has informed us that it will stop offering the on-ramps for GBP, namely deposits and withdrawals via faster payments and cards to Binance users. The statement reads, the trading platform added that they are working hard to find an alternative provider to provide British pound on and off-ramp services to users as soon as possible. So, I don't know how big how big of a segment their business is of, the people in that region that would onboard British pounds. But this is another way that the crypto industry is getting targeted by government. This is happening in the UK. We know that, a bunch of these Western countries are all in on this great reset narrative. And so not only are we seeing it in the United States, we're also seeing it in the UK. Another one here from Michael. So Silvergate was run into the ground by a classic bank run that was at least partially encouraged by the US government and not because of crypto. This is where it gets interesting, a new development here. Silvergate Bank, which was the one that collapsed right after, the very next day, which was the one that closed down after Silicon Valley. They voluntarily wound down on March the 8th. Silicon Valley Bank went into FDIC receivership on March the 10th, and Signature Bank was shut down by state regulators on March the 12th. I'm sorry, this is not Silvergate. I'm talking about Signature, but this one goes into all three. It's called The Banking Crisis is Not Crypto's Fault. So CoinDesk here coming out and giving a bit of an opinion piece. All these banks service some crypto clients, some service more than others. Silvergate in particular banked several crypto exchanges and operated a 24/7 instant settlement network among Silvergate clients. The collapse of FTX weighed on Silvergate, and a scathing letter by U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren to the bank's executives late last year partially weakened public perception of the bank. So Silvergate was run into the ground by a classic bank run that was at least partially encouraged by the U.S. government and not because of crypto. So note this, guys, they are trying to demonize cryptocurrency, the crypto industry. They're trying to maintain, look how many bad players are in this space, and they're really trying to laser focus it on crypto. Meanwhile, all the evidence is here that it is not, in fact, crypto that is the problem. And this is why I think, by and large, it's very difficult for these guys to pull the wool over our eyes. I mean, Bitcoin has rallied up to $24,800 per coin since the most recent debacle here. And so that's up about 23%, give or take. So, even just zooming out here, we had the FTX collapse back in November. Let me just outline that. That definitely shook the market quite a bit. Before that, I guess I should say, back in April, we did witness the Terra Luna collapse and the Celsius debacle. And here, they're really trying to scare us with some other things. However, it really isn't affecting the market in the way that I think they think it's going to affect the market. There was also something else in here that didn't really move the market at all. And then Bitcoin did rally. We got the news of SVB somewhere in here, but really didn't take a toll on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin just kind of took off over the last couple of days. Again, as I said, up 23%. So all this to say, and guys, I will link this in the description of the video if you're interested in reading the full thing, that this really is just a classic banking problem. They're trying to pin it on cryptocurrency. And they're really trying to make people scared of this. But I think the crypto sector is mature enough to hold its own, and there are enough people with money in the crypto space to support crypto, even if big banks and big government are using this narrative to crash what is cryptocurrency, to crash the system. It's not going to be an easy feat for them, and but I mean, they're trying systematically. They're trying one by one. So wanted to thank Michael for posting that. We also got this from Digital Asset Buy here on Twitter. You were warned killing Bitcoin. That would be the final kill shot. Everyone in this space has ignored the fact that government has admitted on video that they met with the 4 Satoshis. Why do you think they haven't come out and addressed this? Why have they pretended for all these years that it's some unknown person? Pay attention. So he was retweeting out a tweet here from Plan XRP on Twitter. Jamie Dimon, governments will crush Bitcoin. Bitcoin in total, $50 billion in trades a day. Remember this video when they blamed this collapse on crypto. So again, the negativity came months before all this stuff now that is happening, all this stuff where they are in fact blaming crypto. Listen to what Jamie Dimon had to say here. I believe this was from Institute. I'm not entirely sure. I thought it was from Davos, but I don't think so now. I know he had his arm in a sling at Davos this year. Listen to this.
Only value of a Bitcoin is what the other guy will pay for it. And I think, honestly, there's a good chance that Bitcoin, a lot of the buyers out there are up there jazzing up every day so that maybe you'll buy it too and take them out. And I quite mean that, by the way. These people are very good at manipulating the press these days and getting news out. And so every day, you have CNBC, nonstop Bitcoin. Who cares about Bitcoin? I mean, the world's economy is so big. We move, JP Morgan alone, these companies, $6 trillion. We move all this money. And Bitcoin in total is all these currencies are $50 billion, maybe $1 billion trades a day. And the other thing I've always made of Bitcoin, governments, and this is not a technological statement, governments are going to crush it one day. Governments like to know where the money is, who has it, and what you're doing with it. And in case you haven't noticed, okay? And governments like to control their currency.
So if that's not a foreshadowing comment, I do not know what is. Something to be paying attention to, of course, Jamie Dimon, the head of JP Morgan Chase. I think it's the biggest, I think that would be considered the biggest bank in the United States. So now, what has happened since we have seen the shutdown of Silicon Valley Bank? JP Morgan and Citigroup are having a flood of new customers rush in after Silicon Valley Bank failure this weekend. We've got a couple of tweets to that effect. First squawk here, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and other large financial institutions are trying to accommodate customers wanting to move their deposits quickly. We've also got Watcher Guru here. Bank giants JP Morgan Chase and Citigroup are trying to handle the largest movement of deposits in over a decade. Large U.S. banks are being inundated, guys, with requests, and this is exactly what the sector now wants. They want the money to move from the small banks to the big banks, especially if you are associated with cryptocurrency. They don't necessarily want to crush crypto so much as they want to control it through their big banking entities. So they're being inundated with requests from customers trying to transfer funds from smaller lenders as the failure of Silicon Valley Bank results in what executives say is the biggest movement of deposits in more than a decade. JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and other large financial institutions are trying to accommodate customers wanting to move deposits quickly. I'm going to keep moving because I've got quite a bit here. Some are associating this with an Operation Choke Point 2.0. Now, this is the original Operation Choke Point. Just to give you guys a sense of what that is, if you don't already know, I'm going to go over this briefly. Initiated by the U.S. Department of Justice beginning in 2013, which investigated banks in the United States and businesses that did firearm deals, payday lenders, and other companies believed to be a huge risk for fraud and money laundering. What the United States wanted to do was, take them down, make sure they corralled the money, but basically were targeting banks that they thought were, funding terrorists, laundering money, so on and so forth. Well, guys, the same thing is now happening with crypto, but they're calling it Operation Choke Point 2.0. And, they're basically doing the same thing, targeting the banks that are involved in cryptocurrency, the smaller banks, so that they can move the business to the bigger banks, i.e. JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, and others. So is it any surprise that we're getting this news? Signature Bank board member Barney Frank says the bank closure was political. He's coming out and he's admitting this. I think part of what happened was that regulators wanted to send a very strong anti-crypto message. He's making no bones about this. We became the poster boy because there was no insolvency based on the fundamentals. Oh my goodness. So if this is not a bombshell that I think we should be worried about, I don't know what is. I mean, we know about this, but Barney Frank is coming out and admitting it. The former congressman known for the Dodd-Frank Act, which overhauled U.S. banking regulation to prevent another global financial crisis, said there was one thing lawmakers and regulators didn't reckon back in 2008, and that was, in fact, cryptocurrencies. Digital currency is a new element that entered into our system, he said. A new and potentially destabilizing element is introduced into the financial system. What we get are three failures. Signature Bank was closed by New York state financial regulators Sunday in a shocking third banking collapse in a week after the failure of fellow crypto-friendly bank Silvergate Capital and the seizure of SVB Financial. Frank himself is a board member of Signature Bank, so he was a board member of Signature Bank, which had been pulling back from digital assets, and he said clients may have overestimated Signature's exposure to crypto. He's saying there was no problem with the bank. XRP Crypto Wolf coming out with this. Crypto-friendly Signature Bank admits there was never insolvency issues, but got shut down anyway because U.S. regulators wanted to send a very strong message. So another article here, why regulators seized Signature Bank in third biggest bank failure in U.S. history. So we got the story going on down here. Let me just actually read you guys the top key points here. On Friday, Signature Bank customers spooked by sudden collapse of Silicon Valley Bank withdrew more than $10 billion in deposits. A board member told CNBC that run on bank deposits led to the third largest bank failure in U.S. history. Regulators announced late Sunday that Signature was being taken over to protect its depositors and the stability of the U.S. financial system. I think part of what happened was that regulators wanted to send a very strong anti-crypto message, said board member and former Congressman Barney Frank. And so back to XRP Crypto Wolf's tweet here. For his part, Frank, who helped draft the landmark Dodd-Frank Act after the 2008 financial crisis, said there was no real objective reasoning that Signature Bank had to be seized. I think part of what happened was that regulators wanted to send a very strong anti-crypto message. As he said before, we became the poster boy because there was no insolvency based on the fundamentals. So guys, this was a perfectly solvent bank, which means to me, going back to this Melissa Tate tweet here, referring to Alex Jones saying SVB is the start of a plan to collapse smaller regional banks. I mean, doesn't it make sense if Signature was in fact solvent, as stated here by one of their board members, Barney Frank, also one of the drafters of the Dodd-Frank Act? He's saying there was nothing wrong with the bank and that it was a political move. Things that make you go, So it's all right here, guys. The writing is on the wall. Not to mention this, John Deaton posted this. We do not live in a free market. Capitalism is being killed. Retweeting out Warren Togami's tweet here, Operation Checkpoint 2.0. I heard today this from management of a small U.S. bank. And guys, read this exchange here. Today, basically, every bank regulator is calling every bank and asking for their liquidity report, asking whether they plan to apply for a new Fed program, and asking whether they have any exposure to crypto. They definitely are trying to ensure that smaller banks don't touch this area. So if this doesn't tell you that the writing is on the wall, that they are in fact looking to usher in a central bank digital currency, well, I mean, we haven't really heard anything about the CBDC yet, right? We've only heard Congress and the Fed saying, it's on the radar, but it's not really a pressing issue. We've heard that before, remember? Here's General Flynn on video describing what he knows about Executive Order 14067. Listen to this.
I want people to go read Executive Order 14067. Executive Order 14067, signed by Uncle Joe, the 8th of March of 2022, and it went into effect 13 December 2022, so just this past December. And there are already corporations and elements of our U.S. government that are already beta testing what's called central bank digital currency. Central bank digital currency. That's what that executive order is all about.
Boom goes the dynamite. So that particular executive order 14067, specifically about central bank digital currency, and it was signed into legislation. As per General Flynn here, I'm thinking these guys are revealing these cards way too soon. I'm thinking, or at least I'm hoping, more people are going to realize what's going on here. Again, crypto is not going away. They just want to be able to corral the way cryptocurrency is handled in the United States, and I mean globally for all intents and purposes. And guys, it's going to be the cryptos that solve problems. I mean, maybe one day Bitcoin won't even be in traders' sites. XRP, though, of course, we know the history there. It'll be XRP and a handful of others, guys, that are really going to transform the system. This is all just the backdrop to what is happening today. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.